So the first thing that we do when we bring somebody brand new in for training at the Performance Ranch is we do a movement screen. And this movement screen incorporates 7 different screens and tests. We're only gonna do 2 things to make sure today in this video of how to become more efficient. So the first thing we do is what's called an overhead squat. So we put somebody in front of the little lip here, you get them their hands, reach them over the head, and all we do have them do is just squat down. And then we look at what they're doing as they squat. A lot of times we'll see people squat, and the first thing they do is they break at the knees and they drive their knees forward. So what I then do, I tell them stop, okay, let's put your heels on the board. Let's just see if you can get this down. So if I'm able to go down and I'm able to drop my hips and do the squat in that position, that looks good. Or if I still see this pattern of knees going forward, well, I instantly know they probably don't have any use of their hips and glutes yet. So what I do then, so I say, can you touch your toes? And typically this is what I see. They go down and try to touch their toes. Now I'm pretty far away. So we do a little drill and we say, okay, I want you to bend your knees a little bit and push your hips back. And as I push my hips back, I want to have you go down and reach down towards your toes. Grab your toes and then try to straighten your legs out. That position alone gives them this confidence of they can now push their hips back, because that's typically what lacks is this position here. They end up doing this. So again, hips back, reach down, grab your toes, hold on to the toes, and then try to straighten out your legs here. And that's going to help you get your hips further back. If you're still having trouble with that, we even put people on the little lip here. Same exact drill. Go down, grab your toes, try to straighten your legs out. And we can do that again, flat on the floor. So again, the hinge is such an important piece of the pie, but it's also this ability. The hinge is going from here straight back here. You notice my body was here, and now I'm going to push my hips back, and I'm here. So we got to teach you that first. That's number 1. The second thing we do is once you master that, we then put you on your knees. We do the same exact drill. We go nice and tall, hands behind the back, and we teach you how to push your hips back. Again, if you notice here, now my back is flat. Now if you think about what I'm doing, I'm on my bike, right here. I'm hinging my hips. So this is another important drill that we do, is teach you how to go from your knees, hips back. And I put my hands behind my hips, behind my butt, so I can push my butt into my hands. Just like that. So that's the second thing we do. The third thing we do is we make sure you're efficient on your back, in your hips. So again, we're going to put you on the floor, going to lie flat. We're going to have you breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. So now working my core, I'm starting to involve core training with this. In through my nose, out through my mouth. So now I'm moving efficiently through my diaphragm. Now I'm going to do the same exact thing, but I'm going to breathe out and drive my hips up. So now I'm doing a bridge. So I should feel this in my butt, not in my quads. If you notice, I've got a nice straight line here. I'm stretching out my hip flexors. We'll go right back down and up. A lot of times we see people do this, pushing back. When they push back, now I use my low back and I use my quads. That's a way different feeling, same movement, but different feeling, different position. So now, tuck the pelvis, breathe out, drive my hips. Way more emphasis in the butt and the glutes, get what we're trying to work, rather than your quads. Again, breathe in, breathe out. Glutes, hips, all that's working, core is working. So now we're doing the right mechanics. So then that leads into the next exercise. The fourth thing we do is we get into a little bit of a hip hinge. We may do it with the dowel, we may do it with the kettlebell. Again, we're going to bend the knees a little bit, we're going to push the hips back, drive them back. Again, I should be intact at the low back, everything's flat, everything's in control, my shoulders are engaged, I'm going to drive my hips forward again and get into extension. Now, if you're having trouble and you feel yourself rounding out, well, we got to teach you more how to be more engaged in the core. And it may be as simple as grabbing the dowel, grab the dowel, and you're trying to pull it apart. So you notice I'm going to grip it and I'm going to rip it apart. So instantly, I just turn my shoulders on, I turn my core on. So now I pull it apart, and I'm going to drive my hips back, so I'm staying rigid up top, but that now activated my core. So now I don't have to worry about rounding out. Engage the core, push back. So that's kind of a simple process of how to hinge better. If you can master that hinge, you're going to master the bike. You're going to be going downhill like you've never gone downhill before. Thank you.